Today, I want to chat with you about uncovering the real price tag of your creative dream. These are the costs that go way beyond the latest camera or drone. You know how it is, right? You hear a lot about saving up for that dream lens, that high-end drone. And believe me, capturing Perth from above with Sky Perth certainly requires top-notch gear. You might think, once you have the equipment, I'm set. You see the polished final image, the breathtaking aerials, the successful projects. But what if I told you the gear is just the very beginning? That the most significant costs, the ones that can generally derail your creative aspiration, are often lurking in the shadows. This is something I've learned firsthand building Sky Perth, my aerial cinematography company. I transitioned from a stable career in IT to founding Sky Perth, and our work has been fortunate enough to be featured by major clients like Netflix and Disney+. My journey from São Paulo, Brazil, to living my passion here in Perth, Australia, as a chief remote pilot has been an incredible adventure. But it's also been a masterclass in these hidden costs. And they are not just financial, let me tell you. So, in this video, I'm going to break down 7 critical hidden costs for you. These are real-world challenges that often catch us creatives off guard. The things that go far beyond just buying new gear. I want you to stick with me throughout 7, because I'll be sharing how each one has shown up in my journey with Sky Perth. And the last one we covered, that one for me was a particular big eye-opener. Understanding it fundamentally changed how I approach my creative business. Ready to look behind the curtain with me? Let's dive in. Cost number 1, the financial iceberg. So you've budgeted for your dream camera, your amazing drone for those sweeping aerial cinematography shots. That's brilliant. But have you factored in everything else? When I launched Sky Perth, I thought the DJI Spire 1 drone was the biggest financial mountain to climb. I soon realized it was just the base game. What are these costs? I'm talking about ongoing software subscriptions, think like Adobe Creative Cloud, specialist drone software perhaps like Pix4D, if you are into mapping, and accounting software like Xero. These can add up every single month or year. Then there is insurance. Public liability is non-negotiable, and you will want to insure that precious gear too. This isn't just a suggestion. For many professional drone business operations, especially here in Australia, it's a strict requirement. Marketing and branding. This includes your website, domain name, business cards, perhaps even some online ads to get your name out there. Sky Perth needs a professional online presence, and that has recurrent costs. And what about your professional development? Those advanced courses, your remote pilot license if you are here in Australia, maybe some business coaching. These are investments in excellence, which is a core value for me at Sky Perth, but they come with a price tag. Don't forget the admin and business running costs like accounting fees, potential legal advice, bank fees, and even office supplies. And a big one, many forget, it's the cost of doing business. These are those unbillable hours you spend preparing detailed codes, networking, or attending pre-project meetings. Why does this matter to you? Because ignoring this will lead to severe cash flow issues, legal headaches, and an inability for you to grow. This financial scaffolding is what makes you a legitimate, trustworthy professional. It's what allows me with Sky Perth to operate at high level and serve the clients we do. How does this fit into your big picture? These are unseen foundations of every breathtaking moment I aim to capture with Sky Perth. So you got a handle on the financials. But what about that resource you can never get back? Things brings us to cost number 2, the time vortex. You likely dream of spending your days creating, flying your drone, capturing those incredible shots. I know I still do. But here's the reality. A massive portion of your time, especially if you are a solo creative or when you are running a small drone business, you'll be consumed by non-billable, non-creative tasks. And what I'm talking about? Admin, invoicing, and yes, chasing those overdue payments, marketing your services and maintaining your social media, the email avalanche and client calls, learning new software and new drone regulations. For example, CASA rules here in Australia are dynamic. Quoting for jobs, networking, equipment maintenance, those crucial firmware updates, travel time, the list feels endless sometimes. Believe me, I'd estimate for Sky Perth, for every hour we are actually in the air, there are several more hours on the ground. This involves preparing, meticulous planning, risk assessment, post-processing, not to mention the general business management on top. Why does this matter to you? Because if you don't account for this time, you either burn out or your business will falter. The creative work simply dries up if the business isn't being actively managed. This is often a huge shock for new creative entrepreneurs. It reminds me of what Thomas Edison said. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. A lot of being successfully creative it's that unseen, unglamorous work. How does this fit in? It's the engine room of your creative venture. My commitment to excellence with Sky Perth means I dedicate serious time to these areas. Alright, money and time are huge, but there is another cost. One that's deeply personal and often the toughest to navigate. Let's explore cost number 3, the emotional roller coaster. Putting your heart and soul in your work, whether it's photography, videography, or complex aerial cinematography, is incredibly fulfilling. The highs are euphoric, but the lows, well, they can feel devastating. What does this emotional cost entail? It's detailing with rejection. Things like lost bids, photos not chosen, or ideas dismissed. It's facing criticism, maybe challenging client feedback or harsh online comments. It's the persistent battle with imposter syndrome, that nagging feeling that you are a fraud, even when you are achieving things. I've been there. There were moments I questioned leaving a secure IT career for this videography dream. It's the self-doubt, especially when you are starting out or facing a significant hurdle. It's the immense pressure of client expectations. It's those frustration creative blocks. And for many solo creatives, it can be profound loneliness. This is where resources like the book The War of Art by Steven Pressfield become so indispensable. Pressfield identifies the resistance. He described it as that internal force of self-sabotage, procrastination, and fear. Recognizing resistance as an inherent part of the creative process was a game changer for me. It's a daily battle to produce meaningful work. And again, why does this matter to you? Because your passion is your superpower, but it also makes you vulnerable. Ignoring this emotional toll is a fast lane to burnout, losing that initial passion and potentially serious mental health issues. Resilience isn't optional, it really is essential. How does this fit? My Brazilian upbringing probably instilled a certain resilience, but living and working in Perth has taught me a lot about pragmatic optimism. For me, at Sky Perth, our value of integrity guides me through difficult client feedback. I see it's an opportunity to learn and improve, even when it's tough. This emotional journey is intense. Now, let's consider the tools of our trade. This leads us to cost number 4, the upgrade treadmill. As a creative, especially if you are in a tech-driven field like drone cinematography or digital photography, you are on a relentless treadmill of technology advancement. What is this cost? It's the constant pressure and often the necessity to update your gear. I mean, new cameras with better sensors, next-generation drones with enhanced capabilities, more powerful computers to handle larger files, and the latest versions of software. There is also the time cost of learning all this new tech. And of course, the fear of becoming obsolete if you don't keep up. You also need to think about evolving drone regulations. Sometimes changes like remote ID can necessitate new hardware. I know that's not the case here yet, but it is in US. So why does this matter to you? Technology in our field moves at lightning speed. Your client expects you to use the latest tech. Our new features might generally improve your output of efficiency. If you fall behind, it can mean losing your competitive edge or being unable to deliver the quality of formats your clients demand. How does this play out? At Sky Perth, we have to stay at the forefront of drone technology. Things like new camera sensors, improved battery life, and updated CASA regulations. That DJI Mavic or Inspire model that's cutting edge today? In a couple of years, there will be something newer, faster, better. The pressure to upgrade is very real. It's not just the financial hit for the new item, but the significant time investment to research, learn, and seamlessly integrate it in your professional workflow. It's a balance between succumbing to gear acquisition syndrome and making strategic investments that generally benefit your business and your clients. Keeping up with that tech treadmill is demanding enough, but all this work, the hustle, the hours behind screens, and on location can lead to another often overlooked cost. Let's talk about cost number 5, the physical mental health toll. The creative life, especially if you are a photographer, videographer, or a drone pilot, can be surprisingly demanding on your body. What does entail for you? Think about it. Hours hunted over a computer editing that stunning aerial footage from your latest drone flight. This can lead to repetitive strains injuries or chronic back pain. Carrying heavy Pelican case full of drones, cameras, and batteries across challenging terrain for that perfect Sky Perth shot, sometimes in harsh weather conditions, it takes a toll. There is also eye strain from constant screen time. You might experience disrupted sleep patterns from irregular hours, chasing specific light conditions, or simply from stress. Why does this matter to you? Because your physical well-being is the bedrock for your ability to do your creative work. If you ignore these physical impacts, it can compromise your performance, shorten your career, and significantly affect your overall quality of life. How can you mitigate this? Early in my career, I often ignored the aches and pains, just push through. But your body definitely keeps the score. Invest in good ergonomic setups for your editing suite, committing to regular movement and exercise, learning safe lifting techniques, and truly listening to your body signal, these aren't luxuries. They are critical investments for a long and healthy creative career. Looking after your physical health is vital, and just as your work can impact your body, it can also deeply affect those closest to you. This brings us to cost number 6, the relationship toll. This one is often an unspoken consequence. When you are pouring your heart, time, and finance into your creative dream, especially in the demanding early days of building a business like Perth, the people close to you definitely feel the impact too. What I'm talking about here, it's sacrificing your personal time for work. Those late nights editing, those spread down starts to perfect light. It's missing family events or being mentally preoccupied even when you are physically present with them. It's the challenge of switching off because your business, your art, is a constant presence in your mind. If there are financial stress from the business, that inevitably can strain your relationships. And sometimes you inadvertently bring that work stress home. Why does this matter to you? Because your support network, your family and friends is crucial. And your personal well-being is deeply intertwined with the health of these relationships. If they suffer, your creative and your business can ultimately suffer too. It's not a sustainable model to sacrifice everything else for your work. How does this fit in my own personal life? I'm a husband and a father, and believe me, balance the ever-present demands of Perth with family life is an ongoing practice in prioritization and communication. My wife deserves immense credit for her patience and support over the years. Open dialogue and setting realistic expectations with your loved ones are absolutely key. These personal and relational impacts are so important to acknowledge. Now, we are at our final point, cost number 7. And as I hinted at the beginning, this one, for me, was a particularly significant realization when I fully committed to the creative path. It's what I call the missing safety net. This is a big one that you might underestimate if you are dreaming of freelance life or starting your own creative business. When you work for yourself, many of the secrets of traditional employment simply vanish. This isn't just about money, it's about fundamental security. What is this missing safety net? It's the absence of employer-paid benefits. That means no paid sick leave. So if you don't work, you often don't get paid. It is as simple and as brutal as that sometimes. No paid holidays unless you meticulously plan and save for them yourself. No company pension or superannuation contributions beyond what you manage to put aside. Often, no subsidized health insurance depending on where you live. We are also navigating potentially irregular income streams and absolutely no job security in the traditional sense. Why is this critical for you? This creates a profound sense of financial vulnerability. It can pressure you to work even when you are unwell or desperately need a break, which then ties back to the physical and emotional tolls we talked about. Planning for your future, for retirement, for unexpected emergencies, or even just taking a guilt-free holiday requires immense personal discipline and very robust financial planning. How did this impact me, and how might impact you? When I left my IT job, I wasn't just living a role. I was leaving behind that predictable regular paycheck, the paid holidays, the sick leave, as a chief remote pilot and owner of Sky Perth, if I'm too sick to fly, or if major piece of equipment fails outside of warranty, or if there is sudden downturn in projects, the business feels directly, and so does my family's security. You become the HR department, the finance department, the contingency planner, and the entire sick leave fund, all rolled into one. This is why having rock-solid contracts, very clear payment terms, building up a financial buffer, and potentially exploring things like income protection insurance becomes so critically important for my peace of mind and the sustainability of Sky Perth. It was a huge learning curve. Now, after hearing all 7 of these costs, you might be thinking, wow, Rod, this sounds incredibly challenging. Why on earth would anyone choose this path? And that's a completely fair question. But here's where we pivot. This is about reframing these costs as investments in your grand vision. These financial, time, emotional, technological, security, relational, and physical outlays can seem overwhelming when you look at them just as costs. But what if you reframe them? What if you see them as essential investments in your skills, your business sustainability, your professional reputation, and your personal resilience, health, and growth? Consider this perspective with me. Financial and technology, that accounting software, that drone upgrade, they aren't just expenses. They are investments in your efficiency, quality, financial clarity, and your competitive edge. That advanced drone course Sky Perth invests in, that was an investment in delivering higher value, safety, and innovation. Time and security? Time spent on admin or building your own safety net isn't wasted. It's an investment in a smoothly running, secure business that allows you the freedom and peace of mind to be creative, emotional and relational, navigating tough client feedback, invest in your relationships. These are investments in your communication skills, your emotional resilience, and your support system. These directly fuel your creativity and well-being. Physical. Investing in ergonomics or fitness isn't an indulgence. It's an investment in your longevity and your ability to keep doing what you love. Why is this reframing so powerful for you? Because it is empowering. It shifts your mindset from one sacrifice and loss to one of purpose building. It helps justify the effort and expenditure because you see each one as a necessary step towards your long-term vision for your creative work, your drone business, your art. How can you manage these investments proactively? First, budget for them comprehensively. Don't let them be a constant surprise. Second, time block it strategically. Allocate specific protected time for all aspects of your business, not just the fun, creative parts. Third, build your support network. Connect with other creatives, find mentors, join communities. You are not meant to navigate this journey alone. Collaborating is a core value at Sky Perth for this very reason. Fourth, invest in holistic self-care. These include your mental, emotional, physical, and relational health. It's not selfish, it's essential for your long-term sustainability. And fifth, value your total contribution. Remember, you are not just selling a photo or a video. You are selling your expertise, your professionalism, your problem-solve abilities, all of which these investments cultivate. So, the creative path, especially if you are building a photography or drone videography business, definitely has its hidden fees. 7 of them I've shared with you today. It demands far more than just a raw talent and shiny new gear. But understanding these financial, time, emotional, technological, security, relational, and physical costs isn't intended to discourage you. Far from it. It's to empower you. Because reality, when you face it with open eyes, is much better foundation than any illusion. You now have a clear, more comprehensive map of the true terrain. You came here wondering about the real costs. Now you know they are significant, but also largely manageable with foresight, planning, and the right mindset. That means seeing them as crucial investments in your unique and amazing vision. Managing these costs, specifically the financial ones, and building that safety net was a steep learning curve for me when establishing Sky Perth. If you are wrestling with how budget for all this, I've put together a free resource called the Creative's Quick Budget Guide, how you can anticipate these 7 key hidden expenses. The link is right here on the show notes. And if you are finding the time management and well-being aspects particularly challenging, especially when you are trying to scale your creative efforts, I shared some of my personal experience and strategies Sky Perth use in a blog post titled Scaling a Creative Business Without Losing Your Soul. I will link that for you below as well. It touches on preventing burnout and maintaining that all-important balance. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these 7 hidden costs surprise you the most? Or which one resonates most with your creative journey? Share your experience in the comments below. I generally read them all. And it's a fantastic way you and I and everyone else in the comments can learn from each other and build our community. If this video gave you some clarity or new perspective, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more honest insights into the world of creative business and drone cinematography. Your support really helps the channel reach and help more people like you and me. Thanks so much for watching. Go create something amazing. Stay curious, tell your story, make it count. And help more people like you and me.
Isso não tá ajudando, viu, gente? Vou tentar. Eu não tô ajudando, porque eu não tô lendo direito. Vocês não estão me ajudando, não tá lendo direito. It's not easy. Let's go.